ladies and gentlemen, to the RDFL Netball Show. Yes, it seems like just yesterday we were here with everything involved in the RDFL Netball, but now that it's finals time, we're here on a weekly basis from here on in. 4 weeks in the season, 4 netball shows, and they're going to be absolutely huge ones as well as we enter the McDonald's Final Series for season 2016. We've gone from 11 teams to 6, and we'll just keep decreasing those numbers in each of the next 4 weeks until we find the premier of the Western Water A-grade competition in season 2016. Shaun Kelly's my name, in the host chair as always, and joining me, as she always does, is my co-host and the AFL Goldfields netball manager, Kim Bailey. Kimmy, exciting time of year.
Yeah, been a great last round, Shaun, to finish off a fantastic season. We'll talk about the couple of one-goal losses, which has really helped shape the final 6. Big weekend last weekend as well. We had junior finals kicking off. So, yeah, it's all happening in the RDFL.
Covering off on a couple of our talking points straight off the bat there. Talking point number 1 is the junior finals, starting obviously with the senior finals this weekend. Junior finals started last weekend as well, and great to see the junior players in action in a finals environment over the last weekend. How did things go across the courts in the finals for the first week of the juniors last weekend?
Yeah, we had the venues spread. We had Gisborne, Sunbury and Romsey. So 6 games at Romsey, 6 games at Sunbury and 4 at Gisborne. So really big day. I was at Sunbury, and the weather held up most of the day until the Port Under 11s and the Under 13s started, and they got absolutely soaked.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was pretty much the same case at Romsey as well. But the standard to me, I was at most of the Beatson games, and they were really a great standard. Sunbury Kangaroos did very, very well. I think they go through to the next round. The Sunbury Lions girls, I know the under-17s won and I think knocked out Gisborne, so they'll go through to the prelim. The under-15 Sunbury team had a 17-goal victory over Rupo, which was a really good physical game. Diggers Rest are into the finals.
Beautiful.
In the 13s as well,
That's what we like to hear.
so that was a great result. They'll go through to next week. Mountain South most probably had a really, not an upset, but they've been one of the powerhouses in the under-17 competition, and they went straight through to the granny, defeating Rupo as well. So that's just a quick snapshot of where we're at the moment.
Keep an eye on the RDFL website for all of the junior finals action. 2 weeks remaining in the junior final series, and just a great day it is at the junior final, especially the junior grand final day is always fantastic. It'll be a bit different this year, having it spread over 2 different venues, but all in all, another fantastic day.
Yeah, we've got more netball grand finals this year. So last year we had 6, and this year we've got 8. So it would have been pretty hard to fit them all at one venue. We'd have to be starting really early and finishing really late. So it will be split, most probably Beatson and Turner. But, to see the crowds there yesterday was amazing, how many mums and dads and nanas and pops and everything were out there watching those little girls. And it just blew me away, as I said, especially some of the talent from, I haven't seen most of the Beatson, but to see the talent in the Beatson was really heartening for me, and just shows what a good condition our future for the RDFL netball is.
Yeah, it certainly is indeed. Moving back into the A-grade competition though, talking point number 2, and another one that you mentioned off the top as well. How close was this final round of action? We had 2 one-point games in the final round, and both of them shaped the top 6 in the end, because one of them was Romsey defeating Lansfield, which knocked Lansfield out of the finals and gave Diggers Rest a final spot. The other one was Riddle defeating Rupertswood, which knocked Rupo out of that top 2 spot they've been in all year, down to 3rd. They've had 2 one-point losses in the last 2 weeks, and it's dropped them into an elimination final. Yeah,
really interesting. That just shows you how close those top 3 are. They've obviously been the standout teams for 2016. And so the 3 of them all to go, apart from the Riddle haven't played Macedon, of course, they'll play them this week. But for the other 2 games to be one goalers is amazing, and a great finals preparation for Rupo, really,
fantastic.
Because they've had those hard games. We knew they'd started their final series. Look, to be honest, I thought they would have at least won one of them, so it's a little bit of a surprise to me. But look, you can throw a blanket over those top 3. It could be anyone, I think, at the moment. So, Romsey did a great job as well.
They have.
If we just look at that Lansfield game, Lansfield always have a really strong running into the finals, but they've had some great players in this week. Stacey Gannon, I think, arrived and played the last 3 quarters, and that's where the difference happened with them. I think the quarter time score was Romsey 17 and Lansfield 6.
Yep.
So they worked their butts off and got back, but most probably that margin there was just too big. But Stacey Gannon was a super player, we know that.
She is, and
she makes such a difference. Taylor Watson's was playing really good netball, and Maddie Walmeyer as well. So there's just been really unlucky for them, to tell you the truth. But from Romsey's point of view, great effort. To where they were at the start of the year.
Exactly right. A team that was literally on their knees and down and out at the start of the year, come back and finish fourth. And we know Romsey during the finals, they take it up a notch. They always have.
Yeah. So it'll be really interesting. So Hope's been, we haven't seen the big scores from Hope this year as we did last year, but she just explodes in finals. Danny Davidson back into the team makes a significant difference as well. Actually, I don't think. Danny did play on the weekend. Steph Symes, Caitlin Byron. So their defence, Romsey, is really, really good. A little bit short, but that's okay.
Won't be when we talk about their game later on. I don't think a short defence is going to worry them too much.
No. And look, they're not overly short. No, but they've got Kate Byron. They're not huge. So I think what they've done is really, really exciting. And then we'll switch over to
the Rupo and the Riddle game.
So I know that by the sounds of it, Rupo was struggling to find that combination in goals that really worked, and there was lots of changes going on until I think Di found the right one. So I think Nat Billings and Stacey Northey was the combination that worked the most and brought them back. So, but if you just look at their score line too, it's extremely close. They were 4 goals down, Rupo, and going into the last, and end up just couldn't peg it back. But Riddle still had a couple of players out to come back in.
Yeah.
So
which is scary.
It's scary, yeah. And they had a couple of their kids playing this week. Kira Bourne and Brianna DeHaas, who's been playing a wonderful season this season in the 19s as well. So, Chris Harris didn't play, didn't get a lot of the ball, but Beck Caldwell did the majority of the work as well as she normally does. Sarah King, Carly Harrison. So they got lots of depth, and then Lozzie Close, who always plays that fantastic game.
Certainly does.
Yeah, it'll be a great game, I think, coming up next week.
There's some big games coming up this week, and on the screen at the moment is the final ladder for 2016. As you can see, Lansfield, their percentage was fine. They had that covered. They just couldn't, just 1 point being the difference literally between them playing this week and having the week off. So congratulations to all of the teams not playing in finals this week on their seasons. Lansfield, of course, Broadford, Woodend Heskett, Wallen and the Sunbury Kangaroos all had positive seasons. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Unfortunately, we can only fit 6 teams into the finals, though. Yeah.
Lansfield most probably deserve a spot, but as you said, it's the top 6. And it'd be great next year to see Rockbank back in and have a 12-match combo, no buys. We're straight back into it.
Exactly right.
So that'd be great for next season. So clubs are already starting to build, getting the requests in already for... Do you know any coaches, and can you be on a coaching committee, a panel to help us select? So
don't worry, the coaching ads will start. If I know anything from previous years, there'll almost be a page in the record dedicated to coaching ads going forward for the next 4 weeks.
So interesting. We can get some of those, Rockbank in particular. They can get their A-Day team up and running and get a coach and get some great players in. It'll be help to comp heaps.
Certainly will. Talking point number 3 for this week, though, our Sunbury Football Social Club Players of the Week. Only 2 to catch up on this time, because it's only been a couple of weeks since we were last here, and of course one of those is from round 18. But Kimmy, our final 2 Sunbury Football Social Club award winners for season 2016 were...
Courtney Arnett from Lansfield.
Yep.
So Courtney is a young goaler and had a really good game a couple of weeks ago in round 16.
Yes.
And propelled Lansfield into the position they were where they could just about make finals. So she's been around the club for a little while, and Alan's really stuck with her and had confidence in her, which is great to see. So well done, Courtney. I think you really deserve the award.
Well done, Courtney.
Good girl. And the last one is from Mountain Central's Vanessa Seddon, who has been the sort of the Batman and Robin combination with Beck Morabito this year, and a little bit unorthodox, but she had a really great game against Broadford on the weekend. She's got that funny flat shot that seems to work.
A quick flat shot.
Yeah, it seems to work, but she's had a great season, and she'll be really instrumental in Mountain Central's campaign for finals this week.
Congratulations to Courtney and Vanessa, our final 2 Sunbury Football Social Club Players of the Week for season 2016. $50 vouchers to the Sunbury Football Social Club away a fantastic prize. We thank Phil Lithgow and all of the team at the Sunbury Football Social Club for their generosity throughout season 2016, and hopefully we can reintroduce the award in 2017.
Yeah, look, the feedback that I get from the award, and put on Facebook, and you see all the comments and how everyone loves it. It's really nice our girls to be rewarded. So thanks to Phil and everyone down at the Sunbury Footy Club Social Club. Really appreciate your support.
Moving our attention now to this weekend and the start of the McDonald's final series for season 2015, starting, of course, on Saturday with the qualifying finals at Eric Boardman Reserve. In the 19 and unders, it's Rupertswood taking on Riddle. In the C grade, it's Rupertswood taking on the Melton Centrals. The B grade is Rupertswood and Macedon. And then the big game, the A grade game, starting at 1:30 p.m. Riddle taking on Macedon. It's deja vu. It's the last day of 2015 all over again as the Bombers take on the Cats, and this will be a really, really good game.
Yeah, really exciting game. I spoke to Cara Stewart on Saturday night, and so they're really pumped and really excited. And Kiara and Jared, the two coaches, are quite good mates too.
Yeah,
so there's a little bit of a friendly rivalry there, and they're but really supportive of each other as well. So it should be a great game. Really hard to pick. Tara Burnett for Macedon has been playing some exceptional netball. I've seen her play. I only saw the half of Macedon and Rupo, and I was extremely, extremely impressed. Similar type player, Shaun, to a VNL player and a Victorian State player in Millie Brock. So
yes.
Similar type of vein. So this girl could do anything if she really wanted to, and she'll be difficult. The height, again, there's big pillars up both ends this week, big pillars, so it's going to be really interesting. Macedon's height was the thing that, I love the tall players, that. And Macedon's height is most probably the little bit of concern for me. A couple of players have come back in from Riddle as well to strengthen up their mid-court. Should be really interesting. Defensively, I most probably think that's where Riddle will get Macedon. I think
very strong defensively.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone like Lauren Close going back there and being able to anchor that defence, and Sarah King, both VNL players, both fantastic players. And yes, Cara Burnett and Chloe Wilson have been doing some fantastic things for us this year, but they're young goalers coming up against experienced defenders.
Unless they swing Cara into the goaling circle, which she's done so much this season as well. She brings so much experience, and she's that settling influence in the mid-court,
which you need in a final.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
right.
Need it.
And look, we've got Kaylee Armstrong as well, who's been playing some great netball and lives in finals as well. So
even if she has played a bit like a pinball in the last few weeks of her season, she just throws her body in and around and just does everything, which is what you want, because she'll do anything for the team.
Yep, so she will. So it'll be a really good matchup. Exciting game ahead. They do. These two teams deserve to be there, really. But you know what? So do Rupertswood.
Exactly.
But this is what it comes down to, and this is what we were saying before. One goal. That's all it came down to. But I think, Shawnee, I'm going Riddle. I think this week.
Yeah, look, I'm going the same way. It's more the better the devil you know. They've obviously been there before.
Wouldn't
They've done it.
Surprise me though. Would not surprise me. But I think Riddle will.
After all, it was the second semi-final last year where we didn't expect Macedon to beat Riddle, and they did. They went straight through to the grand final.
Yeah, just to recall that game too. Yeah, it was a great game and a bit of a surprise. When he had Michaela Vaughan pull out on the last minute.
Exactly right.
I just recall coming flooding back now. Yep. But I doubt whether Betcor will do that.
I don't think so.
And you've got to start to think that they're really lucky, Riddle, in a certain way, because Blaze got bundled out of the finals, the grand final for Saturday night.
Which would have been this week.
So and so those couple of girls that play for Riddle, play for Blaze, wouldn't be playing. So. So it's sort of starting to fall Riddle's way, I think. Yeah,
I think you might be right. I think it'll fall their way this week and they'll go through to a second semi-final. Good thing that Macedon, though, have done is that if they do lose this game, they do have another chance next week. Yeah. So it's massive. That climb into second spot is absolutely massive for them. Also on Saturday, second elimination final day in the RDFL Netball. It's Woodend Heskett taking on Romsey in the 19 and unders. Macedon taking on Diggers Rest in the C grade, Diggers Rest taking on Lansfield in the B grade, and then A grade at Green Hill Reserve at 1:30 in Wallen. Romsey taking on the Melton Centrals. These two teams met not that long ago, and it was Romsey that got the chocolates on that day. And this will be, obviously we all talk about how good a game's finals are, but this is one where I really can't split these teams more than about 3 goals difference.
Yeah, they do match up really evenly. I know Jess May's back this week. Mel Laird's back from overseas, and I think Tran might be playing as well. So
that makes a huge difference having those three back in, doesn't it? There's a couple of bowl medalists in there and a VNL defender.
Yeah. So you think, which way it's going to go? But we know
Ryan medalists even. Ryan's the footy one. I should know this.
But we know how well.
Sorry, Janine.
We know how well Romsey's going, to get back to that victory as well. The only thing is, I'm going to tip Romsey. My only concern is the Romsey mid-court compared to the Central's mid-court. I think Central's mid-court's a bit stronger, but Shaun, I could go either way.
It's one of those games where we could literally spend 20 minutes today putting up an argument for both teams and convincing ourselves both ways 6 different times about which way we're going to go with this one. Yeah. That's what I said. I can't split these teams beyond 3 goals.
Yeah, and I'm going to go for Romsey because they've had that hard hit out last week against Lansfield, and I think they'll be better for it. Just the work that they did, and they scrapped it out to get the 1-goal victory, and they had Macedon biting at their heels. So yeah, I'm going Romsey.
And then the last game for the week on Sunday at the Gilbert Gordon Reserve in Woodend, and great to see the Gilbert Gordon Reserve being used for finals this year after being out of action for all of last year. Elimination finals in the 19 under, it's Macedon taking on Lansfield. The C grade is Riddle versus Broadford. The B grade is Riddle versus Melton Centrals. And the A grade game, Rupertswood taking on Diggers Rest. Last week, we wouldn't have expected this game to be played in this spot. We would have expected maybe Lansfield being in 6th spot and maybe Rupertswood being in 2nd spot. But this is how it rolled with those 2 one-point wins that we spoke about earlier this year. Rupertswood probably start favourites in this one, and they know that if they win this, then they can get that double chance back, because obviously finishing in 3rd, if you win in the first week, you go through to a second semi-final and get 2 bites of the cherry going into a grand final. But don't take anything away from Diggers Rest. With Amy Carroll in that side, they have looked very, very strong in the second half of this season, and they're going to come into this game thinking they can win. Yeah.
So I actually would have thought Diggers would have made it, because they've been sitting in the 6th most of the game. They had the loss, and then Lansfield jumped on last week. But I looked and I thought, I don't think Lansfield will get over Romsey, which turned out to be true, only just. I didn't expect Rupo to be there, to tell you the truth, but Diggers have been fantastic in that shooting circle of Meredith Balls. I remembered your name today.
We did remember it last time, just as we went off air, and we both said...
Sorry, Meredith, and you're such a beautiful player too. How could I forget your name? And Amy Carroll together, that combination. And they put Shelby Strong out onto the wing attack, and it just creates some more movement. Shelby's a goaler as well, and knows a goaler knows where to place the feed. So I think it'll be a good game, but I just think... and Amy's done a fantastic job with this team. I really think
she has.
That game I watched them play against Mountain Centrals was amazing, and... just their fight, and they play for each other. It's a really great team. But Ruperts would have been one of the major forces. They've sat on top all season. They've got depth everywhere. They're just so strong. And they'll be smarting from the last 2 wins. The last 2 losses. So, they'll really want to get back on the board. And, if they win... sometimes finishing 3rd is not a bad spot, is it, Shawnee? Because you're going to go through the second semi.
Just don't talk to the footballers about that from last year, because they finished in 6th and got rolled. No, they finished in 3rd and got rolled in the first week of the finals. But obviously, if things do go right, 3rd is almost a charmed spot to finish in.
Yeah, it is. It's a good spot. And
provided things go right. Things go wrong, and it's a terrible spot to finish in, because you're gone.
Yeah, but I think Di's beating herself up over the last 2 weeks as well. But I actually said to her, don't worry about it. 3rd spot's a good spot.
Exactly.
I want a grand final.
The amount of teams that have won grand finals from 3rd spot is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and it is. It's a nice spot to finish. So I'm pretty confident that Rupo will get the victory.
It's going to be interesting to see the first week of the McDonald's Final Series here in the RDFL. You know what the best part about that is, Kimmy? That we're going to be back next week on the Netball Show to talk about the first week of the finals and to preview week 2, the semi-finals week, because, as we said before, the Netball Show's in for the long haul for the rest of the 2016 season. We'll be here every week until the grand final, and we'll have some specials for you in grand final week as well. Don't worry about that. We're already starting to plan what's going to be the biggest show of the season. Thanks for joining us, Kimmy. Not that you need any more pressure, but I've thrown that one out there, so now we've got to deliver on it.
Good on you. Just a note to all the clubs that thank you for a great season throughout. Everyone's been fantastic. The standard just continues to grow. Remember that win finals, you're out there representing our league. So make sure you put on a good show, make sure everyone smiles, and it is nice to be umpires.
The spotlight is on you more than it is during the home and away season.
So
Don't worry about that.
We've got some great teams in there, and if you just look at the games, you think, oh my goodness, so much talent there. So very proud of our league. So good luck to all teams in finals.
It's going to be a great weekend of finals in the Riddle District Football Netball League. Good luck to everybody playing over the weekend in the finals, and hopefully we're talking about your teams next week on the RDFL Netball Show. We'll see you then.